All right, folks, welcome back to Bones and Brews. So today we are going to put on a brisket flat. I found one on sale at Costco. So I like getting that brisket flat when I don't need that entire large brisket, and I'm just going to use it for some pulled brisket meat later, for some sandwiches, and I might throw some smoked mac and cheese. So what I've done is I've got my brisket here. I made a marinade, and all the marinade information, the entire recipe will be in the description below this episode. And so in the marinade, it's soaked overnight in the refrigerator. So I'm gonna pull it out now. And I got myself a piece of foil here right on my cook table here so I don't make a large mess. All right. And I've already scored kind of that fat that's on the bottom of it. So I'm going to go ahead now. I'm going to throw some gloves on. And I've got my favorite brisket rub, which is Oak Ridge Barbecue, and you can order this online. I'll put a link to it as well. This is called their Black Ops brisket rub. When I'm not making my own brisket rub, this is honestly probably one of the best brisket rubs I've ever used. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna give it a good coating of brisket rub across the top of it. With that, because it's soaked in that marinade all night, I don't need to inject it, to be honest. It's gonna stay nice and just moist on the inside. I've got just enough left in my brisket rub because I've used it a few times. Give it a good coating. All right, you see there, I've gave it a good coating. Got my smoker already sitting at about 235 right now. So I'm gonna throw it on my small Weber Smoky Mountain, my 18-inch right now. And I'm just gonna let it go for the day. When it hits probably about 145, 150, I'm gonna take it off and wrap it, and then throw it back on and keep cooking. That will keep those juices in there and keep it flowing as well. I love having some of that brisket juice later to drizzle back over top of it. So we're gonna throw it in the smoker. We'll come back and check it later. All right, so I just pulled the brisket flat off the smoker. It's right at 165, right where I want it for that internal temp. So I'm gonna wrap it, but before I wrap it, so I've got some foil I've laid underneath the brisket, but I also have my pan here that I had underneath the brisket so that brisket drippings were dripping in. So now I can just pour that back across the top of my brisket. And then when I seal it up inside that foil, that's just gonna get steamy and hot in there. It's gonna, oh, it's gonna be so good. All right, get a good seal on my foil. And I'm gonna place it back on the smoker and let it keep going. I'm trying to get that internal temp about 200 degrees, and then we'll see what it looks like then. All right, so our brisket is off the smoker. I let it rest for a little while, and it smells delicious. I can smell that Black Ops rub that we put on there and how it is soaking those juices there in that foil. It's gonna be really good. I actually took those juices in the foil and dumped them in a pan so I can pour back over later if I need to reheat any of the brisket. So let's go ahead and slice up a little bit and see what it looks like here. And there we go. All right, not breaking apart. Tear off a little piece of that and taste it for you. Oh, man, that is delicious. So good, so good. I love using that rub. Everything will be in the description. It's definitely time to get some of that sauce off my fingers. Like anytime when we have meat off the smoker, got to crack open a beer. So today from Four Hands Brewing here in St. Louis, got the Fest beer, and this is their Oktoberfest style beer. So let's give it a try. Oh yeah, definitely that lager smell to it. Oh yeah, that's gonna go great with the brisket. All right, so I'm gonna take this and wrap it back up, take it in the house, slice off a little bit of it for dinner, and then we're gonna use the rest of it. I'm gonna pull some of it, and use it for some mac and cheese later on. And we'll just snack on it because we got a lot of meat here for just a small family of 4. All right. So thanks for joining us. Remember to like the episode, share the episode, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you again on Bones and Brews.